try it one more time here. Hello guys, Mac here. I'm going to show you how to prepare for RoS. Now we only have a couple of months left, about a month and a half, 2 months before RoS is released. So I figured I'd make a video myself to explain how to prepare and a couple of different player perspectives. I've seen videos of how to prepare, but they only really go through one perspective. You know, their opinion. I'm going to try to go maybe put myself in other people's shoes and see how they might want to prepare for RoS as well. So a couple of the styles that people play or would want to play when RoS is released is either A, you have the player that you know, just wants a fresh start, and that's awesome. That's my view. That's what I want. I want a fresh start. And B, you have the player who is going to want to continue through his old classic character, maybe even save some level 60 items and things like that. And that's fine too. But I'm going to start out with my opinion on how to prepare for RoS, okay? Which is simply nothing. Simply nothing. You don't have to do anything to prepare for RoS. Especially if ladder is going to be released. That's a fresh start right there. So that's no prep right there. I honestly would say to prepare for RoS, in my opinion, is to just chill out, maybe take a break from Diablo even, and just enjoy the game when it's released with a fresh start. Now, the other perspective, if you don't want to play ladder, I'm not saying ladder is confirmed or anything, but if you don't want to play ladder and you do want to, you know, build your current character up, really the only thing you're going to want to do is level up your character. On live, I have 2 100s, a level 80, and a couple level 20s, and it put me at about 187. Through the beta, I've got up to 194. And really, the more Paragon points you have, the better off you're going to be, because even at Paragon 194, I'm still like wishing I had a few more points to put in other things, you know? So really leveling up is the only thing you're going to want to do. You could save some, you can bring gold over if you want, but there are some massive gold sinks right now. Again, this is beta, things may change when it is released, so you never know. So I'll show you some of the costs here. I'm going to take this Hellfire ring. So the current cost is about 300k to reroll something. I have no gold right now, by the way. 300k to reroll something. And the more you reroll, the more expensive it gets. For example, these bracers. Oh, I guess rings are more expensive for the first roll, because these bracers I've already rolled and they're pretty cheap. These boots. Yeah, so rings are more expensive your first roll, apparently. I haven't rerolled these boots. It's about 200k to reroll it my first time. Now, for example, this ring is around 500k because it's around, you know, I've rerolled this like 3 or 4 times already. The more you reroll, the more gold it's going to cost, which is fine. You know, you shouldn't be able to reroll it all the time. It should be a challenge too. This ring right here, it's about 200k. About 200k. These gloves, 500k. This chest right here is 1.1 mil to reroll, because I've rerolled it a bunch of times. I was trying forever to get these 3 sockets, and I finally got them. So I'm happy with them. So that's an example of one of the gold sinks. If you really want to bring gold over to RoS, you can. If you want to craft and enchant all day, but it's going to get pretty spendy over time. I would recommend bringing maybe, if you want to get crazy, if you want to get real crazy, bring like 100 to 500 mil, maybe even a bill over to RoS. If you want to be comfortable with, you know, unlimited crafting and re-rolling and enchanting and all of that. Otherwise, if you don't care too much about that stuff, you will find gold in the game as long as you play it. I would just recommend doing Paragon levels. Now, if you're wondering about materials, I'll go over the materials real quick. It's all new materials above level 60. So to our right here, we have the old mats that you may recognize. We have the Fiery Brimstone, we have the Demonic Essence, the Tear, and the Exquisite Essence. These are all level 60 and under materials. So once you're level 61, these will be completely useless to you. Unless you're leveling up a new character or something. But level 61 and above, these will be just completely useless. So it's no use to even try to farm demonic essences right now. It's just not worth it. Another thing too is there are brand new keys for the Ubers, which you see right here. You got 4 sets of keys now, which are completely new, and you get completely new hellfiring materials too, which are these right here. So if you have a bunch of hellfiring materials, anything like that, I recommend just crafting now. Because the reason for that, the new item system, it can only roll up to 4 primaries and 2 secondaries. Obviously this hellfiring has like a special effect on it, but you can only roll 4 primary stats now. In Classic right now, you can roll 6 primary stats on your hellfiring. And come to beta, or not beta, RoS, and re-roll one of those stats into something else. So, these are the new materials here. These are the 61 and above materials. Pretty much, I line them up so that, like they're the same thing, only different level. Forgotten Souls are the new brimstones for anything above level 61. You'll be needing a lot of these too, which you have to play to get. The Death's Breath. I feel like I have just way too many of these. I feel like the drop rate should be nerfed because it's going to fill up my stash. I have way too many for these for all the crafting that I'm doing. And you have these valid crystals, which are pretty much the same thing as the tiers. You get these from salvaging rare items. And this makes you collect rare items that you might not want to use. You do want to get these materials. The only way to get them is to salvage rares. You might find them drop every once in a while, but it gives incentive to pick up items and use them, makes them useful. Same with white items. You get these reusable parts. It's kind of like I have too many of these too. Yeah, these are the materials for salvaging whites. This is the common debris. This is for under level 61 as well, right here. And these are the new exquisite essences, the arcane dust. You'll need these too. And by getting these, you'll have to salvage blue items. So now you have like a purpose to pick up about any item on the ground, right? Another thing, for example, like you need all these materials for about anything. So when I go to craft something, if I want to enchant this sword or something, I'm going to need a blue, a legendary material, and a rare material to do that. You need all these materials. So you're going to want to pick these up. I'll go over to the crafting over by the blacksmith here. And like right here, you'll need like a white belt to craft a legendary belt, along with a material that drops only in specific areas, which that's kind of cool as well. I'm trying to find though something that requires white materials, like these things. If you want to craft rares, I guess you need some white materials right here. So yeah, the point is you don't really have to prep much for RoS. You should be stoked that it's more of a fresh start. You don't really, I mean, I don't know, you can bring gold over if you want, but in about an hour or two of farming, I'm going to have about 5 mil, and I'm going to be fine to craft, do whatever. You have to play to get things. It should be a challenge to get gold. You should not be able to just go out and craft everything you want right off the bat. Don't you agree? It should be a challenge. It is no longer pay to win, it's play to win, and it's so awesome. I'm so stoked for the game. I can no longer go on the auction house and just conveniently buy all these materials, you know? I actually have to go look for them myself, and that is awesome. It makes you play more. It keeps the game fun. You know, in Classic, you just go to the auction house, you buy like some awesome weapon or something, and you're never, ever, ever going to find an upgrade for that weapon. It kind of makes you just quit the game, right? Because the whole point of this game is to find new loot and keep finding new loot. And that's what they're really doing. You know, they still have some things to work on, like maybe like some sort of more competitive game modes or something, but for now they really are fixing the core aspect of the game, which is going out and finding loot. That is what Diablo is all about. It's a loot finding game. It's a treasure hunt. Anyways, that's about all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching the video. Feel free to leave comments, and I will try to reply to them as well.